For privacy reasons, names and places have been changed. This story is inspired by true events.
On a clear autumn morning in 2007, 17-year-old Kai Mendoza was on a high school field trip to the Willis Tower in Chicago, IL. Following an unexpected elevator malfunction that scattered her classmates, she sent a quick text, taking the stairs. She never rejoined them at their designated meeting point. Despite an extensive investigation that meticulously searched every public floor, every accessible stairwell, and every nook of the iconic skyscraper, Kai Mendoza vanished without a trace. For 13 agonizing years, her family, her friends, and the Chicago police lived with gnawing uncertainty, grappling with a disappearance that defied explanation. Then, in 2020, a startling discovery was made, hidden deep within the tower's sealed ventilation ducts. A scuffed, old flip phone. This is the complete investigation into what happened to Kai Mendoza. Before we continue, let us know where you're watching from, and if you enjoy this content, consider liking and subscribing to our channel. Now let's continue. In the year 2007, Chicago, Illinois stood as a vibrant metropolis, its skyline dominated by the imposing stature of the Willis Tower, then still widely known by its original name, the Sears Tower. This architectural titan, a symbol of American ambition and engineering prowess, served as an educational destination for countless school groups. Among them, on a crisp autumn day, was a cohort of high school students on a field trip, their youthful energy a sharp contrast to the building's stoic steel and glass. One such student was Kai Mendoza, a 17-year-old junior with a keen interest in urban planning and a quiet demeanor. For Kai, this outing promised a glimpse into the city's heart, an experience that should have been both enriching and memorable. The planned ascent to the observation deck, however, was abruptly interrupted. As the students packed into one of the tower's high-speed elevators, an unexpected mechanical glitch caused the car to lurch and momentarily stall. While not dangerous, the incident led to a minor disruption, scattering the students across different floors and stairwells as building staff worked to safely disembark them and reroute traffic. In the ensuing confusion, Kai found himself separated from his designated group and chaperone, Mr. Lowell Griggs. Attempting to rejoin his classmates, Kai sent a brief, definitive text message from his flip phone, taking the stairs. It was the last communication anyone would receive from him. The initial disarray soon gave way to a growing unease. Mr. Griggs, diligently gathering his students at the prearranged meeting point in the concourse, quickly realized Kai was absent. A quick headcount confirmed the missing junior. What began as a minor inconvenience escalated into a profound concern. Repeated calls to Kai's phone went unanswered. The vast, bustling environment of the Willis Tower, typically a source of wonder, now transformed into a labyrinthine space of mounting dread. The realization solidified. Kai Mendoza, a 17-year-old high school junior, had vanished without a trace within the iconic structure. The immediate concern over Kai Mendoza's absence quickly escalated into a frantic search. Mr. Lowell Griggs, the chaperone, along with other school staff, initiated an urgent sweep of the Willis Tower's lower levels. They scoured the bustling concourse, the expansive plaza outside, and revisited the floors near where the elevator incident had occurred. Hope diminished with each passing minute as their efforts yielded no sign of the 17-year-old. The sheer volume of people moving through the iconic structure, combined with its vast internal spaces, made a systematic search by a small group nearly impossible. By late afternoon, with the school group now accounted for except for Kai, the gravity of the situation became undeniable. Chicago Police Department was swiftly notified. Given the location, a major downtown landmark, and the age of the missing person, a missing person investigation was initiated with urgency. Detectives arrived on the scene, immediately taking over from the school staff. Their initial focus was on the most accessible areas of the tower, interviewing anyone who might have seen Kai after the elevator glitch. Security footage from the plaza and concourse was meticulously reviewed, but the sheer volume of pedestrian traffic and the limitations of 2007 surveillance technology presented significant challenges. No clear, continuous image of Kai Mendoza emerging from the building or making his way to a specific exit could be found. The investigation quickly ran into formidable obstacles. Kai's last known communication, the text stating he was taking the stairs, offered little actionable intelligence. It was ambiguous regarding his exact location or intended destination within the building. There were no witnesses who could corroborate seeing Kai after he separated from his group, no immediate signs of struggle, and no indication that he had left the tower premises. The labyrinthine nature of the building, with its numerous public access points, private offices, maintenance areas, and extensive stairwells, became a significant impediment. Investigators were faced with an overwhelming environment, searching for a single individual who seemed to have vanished into thin air. As the initial sweeps of the building, both public and accessible service areas, yielded no trace, a palpable sense of frustration began to mount among the authorities. The bustling life of the Willis Tower continued around them, indifferent to the deepening mystery of the missing high school junior. The initial intensity of the search for Kai Mendoza gradually waned as days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Every accessible corner of the Willis Tower, from its public observation decks to its subterranean service tunnels, had been meticulously scoured. Cadaver dogs had been brought in, sweeping stairwells and ventilation shafts, yet they found nothing. Security footage, already limited by the technology of 2007, offered no definitive answers, only fleeting glimpses of an ordinary day unfolding. Interviews with building staff, visitors, and Kai's classmates yielded no new leads, no witnesses who could account for his movements after his fateful text. Without a body, without a clear crime scene, and without a single new piece of evidence, the active investigation eventually reached an impasse. Resources, initially poured into the case with urgency, were slowly reallocated. The file on Kai Mendoza's disappearance, once a priority, was eventually moved to the cold case archives, an unsolved enigma among hundreds. For Kai's family, this transition from active investigation to cold case was an agonizing ordeal. The question of how a 17-year-old could simply vanish inside one of the world's most recognizable buildings became a tormenting, ceaseless echo. Was he abducted? Did he suffer an accident? Had he somehow managed to leave the building undetected? Each possibility brought its own unique form of horror and uncertainty. The authorities, equally baffled, could offer no concrete answers, only theories and dwindling hope. The absence of a resolution left an open wound, preventing any form of closure. Years began to accumulate, each passing season deepening the silence surrounding Kai Mendoza. 2007 faded into 2008, then 2009, and on through a decade. His high school classmates graduated, went to college, started careers, and built families, while Kai remained perpetually 17, frozen in time by his disappearance. His parents continued to mark his birthdays, his anticipated graduation dates, and the anniversary of his vanishing, each occasion a stark reminder of what they had lost and the answers they still craved. The case became a persistent, haunting shadow over Chicago, a stark example of how even in an age of pervasive surveillance and communication, an individual could utterly disappear. 13 years passed without a single new clue, without a whisper of his whereabouts. The hope that initially fueled the search had long since been replaced by a quiet despair, occasionally punctuated by a desperate plea to the public for any information, no matter how insignificant. The mystery of Kai Mendoza endured, a testament to the enduring pain of the unresolved. 13 years had passed since Kai Mendoza vanished, an eternity for his family and a persistent, unsolved entry in the Chicago Police Department's cold case files. The Willis Tower, a constant sentinel over the city, had continued its operations, its vast internal mechanisms requiring ceaseless maintenance. It was during one such routine inspection in the late spring of 2020 that an unexpected anomaly brought the past roaring back. Building engineer Tasha Novak, a veteran of the tower's labyrinthine systems, was overseeing a scheduled inspection of the building's extensive HVAC network. This particular task involved accessing a less frequented section of the risers, a sealed vertical shaft designed for ventilation and utility conduits that ran through a significant portion of the structure. Working in a cramped, dusty access panel on an upper floor, one of Novak's technicians noticed an obstruction deep within a narrow, sealed section of the riser. It was a dense accumulation of debris, but something metallic glinted within the grime. With specialized tools, the team carefully extracted the object. What emerged from the darkness of the sealed shaft was a small, rectangular device, heavily scuffed and caked with years of dust and fine particulate matter. It was an old model flip phone, its plastic casing scratched, its screen dark, and its hinge stiff. The discovery itself was unusual. Such a device would not typically be found in a sealed, inaccessible HVAC riser, let alone one that had been undisturbed for well over a decade. The immediate significance of the find was not lost on Tasha Novak. While old phones were occasionally found in various crevices of the building, the location of this particular device, deep within a sealed and rarely accessed shaft, raised immediate questions. Its condition suggested it had been there for a very long time, possibly since the era of its technological relevance. The team's protocol dictated that any item of potential value or suspicious origin found in such a location be reported. A quick internal check of the building's incident logs, cross-referenced with the age of the phone, soon led to a chilling realization. The model of the flip phone, a common brand from the mid-2000s, perfectly aligned with the time frame of Kai Mendoza's disappearance. The sheer improbability of the find, coupled with its specific location in a sealed, vertical shaft, immediately transformed a routine maintenance discovery into a potential breakthrough in a 13-year-old cold case. For the first time in over a decade, a tangible object directly linked to the vanished teenager had emerged from the depths of the Willis Tower. The silent, enduring mystery of Kai Mendoza had just found its first voice. The discovery of the scuffed flip phone within the Willis Tower's sealed HVAC riser instantly transformed the dormant case of Kai Mendoza. What had been a cold file for 13 years was now a live investigation, driven by a single, tangible piece of evidence. The phone was handled with extreme care, immediately packaged in an anti-static bag, and sealed as forensic evidence. Its chain of custody meticulously documented from the moment of its extraction by building engineer Tasha Novak's team. It was then transported to the Chicago Police Department's digital forensics lab, where a specialized team awaited. Upon arrival at the lab, the phone presented a formidable challenge. Its exterior, though scuffed, showed signs of long-term exposure to dust and fluctuating temperatures within the riser. The battery was long dead, and the internal components were likely degraded. This was not a modern smartphone with easily accessible data ports. It was a relic of 2007, a device whose operating system and hardware were largely obsolete by 2020. Recovering data from such a device, especially one that had potentially sustained internal damage over 13 years, required a delicate blend of expertise and specialized equipment. The forensic team, led by CFD rescue tech Jamal Porter, approached the task with painstaking precision. Every effort was made to avoid further damage to the fragile components. The phone was carefully disassembled under a microscope, its internal circuit board exposed. Technicians attempted to bypass the dead battery and power the device directly, while others worked to extract the memory chip for direct data retrieval. This process involved micro-soldering and the use of proprietary tools designed for older mobile phone architectures, some of which had to be specially sourced or adapted. The goal was singular: to extract any data, no matter how fragmented or corrupted, that could shed light on Kai Mendoza's final moments. Call logs, text messages, photographs, or even the phone's internal system logs could contain the crucial information needed to unravel the mystery. The sheer improbability of the find, coupled with its potential to finally provide answers, instilled a renewed sense of urgency and purpose among the investigators. After years of dead ends and despair, the scuffed flip phone represented a tangible thread, a fragile beacon of hope in a case long shrouded in darkness. The painstaking efforts to revive and extract data from Kai Mendoza's scuffed flip phone eventually yielded a profound breakthrough. After weeks of meticulous work by the digital forensics team, led by CFD rescue tech Jamal Porter, the device's internal memory chips were successfully isolated and accessed. The challenge lay not only in the age and condition of the hardware, but in deciphering the raw data. Among the recovered fragments of information, old text messages, call logs, and system files, one particular set of data stood out as critically significant: the phone's internal gyroscope logs. These logs, typically used for screen orientation and motion sensing, provided a precise, chronological record of the device's physical movements and orientation in space. The analysis of these gyro logs revealed a sequence of events that offered the first concrete clue to Kai's fate. The data indicated a sudden, violent shift in the phone's orientation, followed by an immediate and sustained downward trajectory. This was not a gentle placement or a casual drop. The logs depicted a sudden tilt and drop, a rapid acceleration consistent with a significant fall. The precision of this digital footprint provided investigators with a crucial new parameter: the approximate time and nature of the phone's final descent. With this new, compelling evidence, the investigation pivoted. The forensic data indicated a specific time window for the fall, necessitating a meticulous re-examination of the Willis Tower's internal records from that precise period 13 years prior. Building engineer Tasha Novak, whose team had discovered the phone, became an invaluable resource in this phase. Her intimate knowledge of the tower's vast infrastructure and access protocols allowed investigators to cross-reference the gyro log's timestamp with the building's maintenance schedules, and crucially, its electronic access records. This involved painstakingly reviewing thousands of entries from the tower's security systems, which logged the use of maintenance badges and the status of various access points. The convergence of the gyro data and the building's historical records led to a singular, critical discovery. During the precise window indicated by the phone's fall, security logs showed an anomaly. A fire door on an upper service level had been left unsecured. This door, designed for emergency egress and typically kept locked, led directly to a blind service landing, an isolated, narrow platform not intended for general access that overlooked a vertical shaft. The location of this unsecured door, combined with the precise timing of the phone's recorded fall, provided a chillingly coherent explanation. Jamal Porter, drawing on his expertise in accident reconstruction, confirmed that the trajectory and impact data from the gyro logs were entirely consistent with a fall from this specific service landing. The mystery that had baffled authorities for over a decade had finally found its digital witness. The convergence of the recovered gyro logs and the building's historical access records finally provided the definitive answer to Kai Mendoza's disappearance. After 13 years of agonizing uncertainty, the digital forensics had meticulously reconstructed the likely events of that autumn day in 2007. Kai, having texted his chaperone that he was taking the stairs to rejoin his group after the elevator glitch, likely became disoriented within the vast, complex internal structure of the Willis Tower. In his attempt to navigate the unfamiliar service stairwells or find a shortcut, he inadvertently encountered a fire door on an upper service level that, contrary to protocol, had been left unlocked. This door led not to another public area, but to a blind service landing, a narrow, unlit platform intended only for maintenance access, overlooking a vertical shaft. The gyro logs from his flip phone indicated a sudden, violent tilt and subsequent rapid descent, consistent with a fall from this specific, isolated location. Kai Mendoza's tragic fate was no longer a mystery. He had not been abducted, nor had he run away, but had suffered a fatal accident, falling into an inaccessible part of the building's infrastructure, a space where his phone would remain hidden for over a decade. For Kai's family, the resolution brought a complex wave of emotions. The truth, while devastating, NG finally offered a form of closure that had been cruelly withheld for so long. The agonizing question of what happened was answered, allowing them to grieve not for a missing person, but for a life tragically cut short. The news rippled through the school community and the city of Chicago, bringing an end to a persistent local enigma. It was a somber conclusion, yet one that underscored the human need for answers, even when those answers were painful. The discovery also prompted a comprehensive review of security and maintenance protocols within the Willis Tower. The incident highlighted critical vulnerabilities, particularly concerning the securing of fire doors and access to blind service landings. Building management initiated a rigorous audit of all non-public access points, implementing enhanced electronic monitoring and stricter enforcement of locking procedures to prevent such a tragedy from ever recurring. The legacy of Kai Mendoza's disappearance became a stark reminder of the hidden dangers within even the most iconic and seemingly secure structures. Ultimately, the resolution of Kai Mendoza's case was a testament to the enduring power of persistence and the unexpected avenues of investigation. An accidental discovery by a building engineer, followed by meticulous forensic work on an obsolete device, coupled with the detailed cross-referencing of historical records, collectively unraveled a mystery that had confounded authorities for over a decade. It demonstrated that even in the most challenging cold cases, a single, overlooked detail or an unexpected find could, in time, bring a long-awaited truth to light.